If not, then we move on to the third presentation today, the first and last keynote lecture. The presenter will be Mr. ISHIHARA with the title Opportunity in the Next Decade from Urban Transport. Mr. ISHIHARA graduated from university, and after graduate, he had worked in East Japan Railway Company and the consulting company for 14 years as a railway engineer. He has involved in numerous major projects, including restoration and renewal of terminal station, for example, Tokyo Station, a very big station, Shinjuku Station, and Yokohama Station. He was in charge of planning and structural design and the management. In 2008, Mr. ISHIHARA moved to Nippon Koei Company. Now it's the largest consulting company in Japan, and touched his work field from domestic to overseas. He has worked in India, Pakistan, Egypt, Myanmar, and after that, Vietnam. From 2011 to 2012, Mr. ISHIHARA has joined Vietnam North-South High-Speed Railway study, and from 2015, he has joined Ho Chi Minh City Urban Metro Railway Transit Line number 1. Currently, Mr. ISHIHARA is working on the project Line number 1, Bến Thành Suối Tiên, as the project manager. So, please, Mr. ISHIHARA, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Huang, thank you very much introduction for me. So today, I'd like to talk about what happened previous 10 years for Ho Chi Minh City urban railway development and we should do for the next decade for developing Ho Chi Minh City railway network. So when I come to Vietnam first time in 2011, at that time, Hanoi MRT Line 1 was just basic design stage supported by Japanese ODA project. Line 3 was just before commencement of the construction. In Ho Chi Minh City, our Ho Chi Minh City Line 1 was in tender preparation stage. Not only railway east-west expressway construction had been started. So also it was announcement for starting feasibility study of the new long-time international airport. Under such like a situation, I participated North-South Vietnam high-speed railway study. So on the study, we also consider how to link Ho Chi Minh City Central to new long-time international airport, like this. So after past 10 years, unfortunately, even line 1 has not been completed, cannot start the operation. So today, I'd like to give some, I'd like to introduce some facts, and I'd like to propose some ideas for future. It was existing approved plan in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In Hanoi, planned 8 MRT lines. In Ho Chi Minh City, planned 6 MRT lines. Of course, master plan approved 2011 and 2013, but almost all plan, basic plan developed before 2010. So after that, in Hanoi, line 2A, this green line started in 2011. line 3, indicated yellow line, started 2010. In Ho Chi Minh City, our line 1 started 2012. So I'd like to say congratulations to start the operation for Hanoi Line 2A. I can imagine how difficult to reach this operation. So now we are also facing similar problem to reach the official commercial operation. So in Hanoi, the 2 lines construction itself almost all completed. The both line is elevated line. Hanoi 2A is around 13.1 kilometer. Line 3A is 8.5. Of course, line 3 have an underground section, but at this moment not completed yet. On the other hand, line 1 is have 19.7 kilometer under part not underground section and plus elevated. Anyway, previous 10 years, last 10 years, here in Vietnam, urban railway construction was 3 lines. Only 1 line completed, another 2 lines still continuing the project. So this is existing image of the line 1 construction. So this is the situation of the Benton station. Structure construction is almost all completed. Now backfilling and reinstatement on the ground continuing. This is Benton station situation, now installing a railway facility and final finishing doing. This is situation of the elevated station. This is a silk tunnel. This silk tunnel is first railway silk tunnel here in Vietnam. So why did this project take so long time? What was problem? I received so many questions from so many people. So there were a lot of kind of problems on the project, but especially for Ho Chi Minh City Line 1. The main problem is land acquisition and the utility diversion, and contractual problems, and not familiar with urban railway project, cost and the budget also. Anyway, but if we look at them positively, they were good lessons. Here in Vietnam, experience 3 MRT projects with 3 countries support, almost all same time. This is quite unique and good lesson, I think. So important thing is don't make the same mistake twice for future. So now social system changes. System change is required due to climate change, environmental damage, etc. The last COP26, we discussed about this issue also. We are requested to reduce CO2 drastically and quickly. But we have to also consider balance of the social growth and the nature conservation. So development and redevelopment of the public transportation system shall be accelerated. That is important. So recently, central government, Vietnamese central government, Prime Minister decision announced for Ho Chi Minh City area master plan, target to 2014 to vision to 2060. Also approved railway network plan for 2021 to 2030, vision to 2050. Such like lines nominated. So what is needed for future railway network development? How should be considered on the next transportation plan? I know well so many idea and objection, but the idea would like to say should not aim real idea excessively. Consider a realistic plan with practical strategy. In particular, should not plan only for urban railways, should consider comprehensive transportation system, prioritize on project, consider synergy of project, not only railway, road project, expressway project, and should consider regional growth and benefit, not only city inside city transportation, but also intercity connections and the logistic network also should be considered. Then how to feedback learned lesson to the next project. I'd like to say, look back each project, then list out problems and trouble, share the information, share experience and the lesson, study for countermeasures, reflect to official regulation or instruction. Finally, feedback to the actual project, reflect on bidding and contractual documents. So about the strategy for establishment of the Ho Chi Minh City urban transportation network. Shall we develop to consider development easiness? Easiness means not only normally, but we will consider theoretical analysis, academic analysis based on the collecting actual data or future plan data. But take into consideration of the physical project progress. We faced so many problems compared with plan on the desk. Especially for underground construction, is quite complicated and take time, cost, and how to say, very complicated. We need so many discussion. So this red line is our completed line 1. So previously, another expert already explained, railway should be, urban railway should be network to aiming or getting more effectiveness and passenger riders. So this is one idea, take into consideration of the construction and the development business. Once completed line 1, of course, line 1 should be extend more south or west. This line is planned as line 3A. This yellow line is line 2. Line 2 also already stand by to starting the actual construction. So at least these 2 lines should be concentrated and completed as soon as possible. But another line, another further underground metro line development will be take time and cost. So takes more preparation time required. On the other hand, Line 1 has another possibility to extend toward Binzhen, extend to Donai, Bianhua City. Binzhen have a population over 1 million. Bianhua also have a population over 1 million. Both cities need connection by a metro network. So this extension possible by elevated or on-ground railway. So much easier based on the technical, based on the cost. So on the prioritizing of the city railway network development should be considered, such like easiness and effective railway network development first. That is one idea. The one more thing, once developed metro line should be improved feeder transportation connection, bus, share ride, taxi, bike, and bicycle also. So next strategy is utilize the existing infrastructure and transportation. This is one of the image to improve the connection between metro and the bus system. One of the idea, bus stop just put under the station, passenger easily transfer to the metro line, metro to bus also. So one more idea is to develop the bicycle and car park, not only private one, share and rent bike or rent a car near the station. This is one of the ideas. So third strategy is consideration of the intermodal facility with city development. This is one of the image. Now we are just developing, constructing a metro station, but unfortunately not including such like intermodal facility development or coordination with the future development near the station. So for future projects should be considered at the beginning, such like a connection between metro line and another feeder transportation. How to develop, how to realize effective connection, much easier and convenience for passenger. The fourth strategy is to consider multi-purpose use. This is one idea for utilize underground. As you know, underground development is quite expensive and take long time. So only for using metro line is not so feasible. So should be utilized not only part of the station, but also in between the station, utilize underground space as a corridor of the passenger, corridor for the utilities, for parking space. So one more idea is develop the reservoir tank for keeping flood water tentatively. But such like a multi-purpose development will be help city infrastructure development more effectively. So fifth one is to unify the standard and the specifications as much as possible. So now infrastructure development require not only railway, but also a road system, a bus and a share ride, and another mode also required. So focus on the train system should be unified. Car gauge. Car gauge means the limit of the car size, car body size, and track gauge. Track gauge means length between both rails. Once we unified such like a basic condition, we can easily to operate compatibility urban railway to the intercity railway and others. Also between railway system and another bus and taxi system also should be unified applications, battery system or propulsion system, energy supporting system, telecommunication system, data collection and data accumulation system, monitoring system, and accounting system. So such like a basic system will be one of the city infrastructure for future, digital infrastructure for future. So last one is to create reasonable regulation. As I mentioned, underground construction have so many problems and take time and cost. One reason is, according to the existing regulation, above the tunnel should be purchased in advance. After completion of the tunnel construction, cannot be utilized by private companies' development. This is one of the sample regulation in Japan. Sectional superficie. It means separation of the land property right. This black dot line is property of the tunnel. But above the tunnel, except this black dotted line, area can utilize or continuing using by private or another purpose. Of course, these areas have a limitation, construction foundation limit, construction loading, but anyway, we can utilize more effectively and we can share the property and the cost. Such regulation can expedite the project and we can expect more effectiveness of the investment. So once developed urban railway network, but not enough for future. Further growth of the greater Ho Chi Minh City area need more optimum regional transportation system. So also need make plan to consider development business. For example, rehabilitation, renewal of the existing national railway line, and to develop the airport link along the existing highway, expressway. For example, another one is to develop the ring road development with urban railway network and connecting another railway network, utilize to link to airport link line. Must, as much as possible, or utilize existing infrastructure and to connect lines as network. And not only passenger transportation, but also such like a line should be utilized, part of the logistics network to connect port and airport, airport to airport, and others. So second target is, as I mentioned, to develop transportation network for passenger with logistics. So this is just a rough image. We can, once we adjust the size of the train, we can utilize passenger operation and freight operation. But even remaining narrow gauge existing Vietnamese national railway line, but we can add one more lane. We can compatible operation, narrow gauge and standard gauge. Even electrified and non-electrified can possible to operate on the same line. The right foot is one of example to utilize metro line for small goods operation transportation as part of the city logistics. Right side below one is in Europe already started high-speed railway freight operation. So near future, such like a transportation system also will be required. So third strategy is to utilize this technology. One of the costly for a reason of the cost increasing for urban railway network is to develop or to equip power supply system and the catenary system. But now already developed new train propulsion system using battery, using hydrogen fuel cell. Near future will be possible hydrogen engine locomotive also. So we can simplify railway system and can minimize the cost in future. And even such like a train can operate non-electrified section also. So one more important thing is information and ticketing adjustment system. On line 1, we will introduce IC card already, but already we can utilize mobile phone and smartwatch as equipment of the ticketing and adjustment. So information also through the application and the mobile phone, train operator can provide, passenger can utilize the confirmed information by themselves easily. So last one is to develop transportation as comprehensive system. In future, but not only metro line, we should consider more optimum transportation system should be selected, such like an AGT system, monorail, light rail transit, and a bus system, electrical car, and automatic operation system, etc., etc. So finally, we should aim the goal will be realize zero emission society. Even in Ho Chi Minh City area, not requested, only the Ho Chi Minh City area require to connect another city for Kanto to the Barrier Buntan, to the frontier, to the border of the Cambodia. Anyway, we have to do so much. We should consider more effective development for infrastructures. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. ISHIHARA. It's a very interesting presentation. Japan, with many more than 100 year experience in urban railway, and you provide many content of experience in this, especially Nippon Koei is the biggest, the largest consulting company in Japan. Now Vietnam, we have a plan of, in Hanoi, we have a plan of 8 line urban railway, and Ho Chi Minh City we have 7 line in planning, and in Hanoi we just completed, just open to public 4 days before, in the 5 days before, and the first line in Hanoi. Now one line is under construction, like in Ho Chi Minh City number 1, also under construction, and number 2 is finished with detailed design and now starting construction. The number 1 is provides the by JICA, and number 2 is this the money from German bank, European bank, and commercial bank, and ADB. I think your lecture is provide strategy after we built the first line in Ho Chi Minh City with facility connection or buy share or value up of space. We have many space in station, unification of the system standard, and information system like ticketing adjustment system, and so on. It's very interesting. So now I left time for a question from audience. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we can raise hand and ask or talk or discuss with Mr. ISHIHARA, please.
Okay, I have one comment and two questions.
Mr. Zuralev.
Yes, comment about integrate one system of payment. Yes, we have a this system. When you have one payment method, no matter it's NFC or it's a card, no matter. We have the same one method of payment in Moscow. It's called Troika, and it's very useful. You can use your smartphone for payment, or you can use a card, no matter. And you pay in metro, in tramway, in the bus, everywhere you pay only one method. It's so comfortable for use. And also with system, I know I live in Shanghai and Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, you know, Octopus system, and Octopus, it's not only payment for transport, it's also you can pay in the shops, in the food store, or like it. So I'm absolutely agree with ISHIHARA-san. It's need to, it's necessary in Ho Chi Minh City. First one, it's comfortable. Second one, it's safer time for payment, and each second in total it will be accumulate a lot of safe time. Okay, it's my comment about my question. My question number 1, ISHIHARA-san. One of slide you say in Ho Chi Minh City it's need share right. Okay, say me please, what exactly type of transport you idea to share right?
As you know, so many
based in Ho Chi Minh realistic situation, like a transport system, realistic economic system. Okay, what kind of transport you idea to use a share right model?
With at this moment, our most interest is how to utilize after completion of the line 1. So almost all, how to say, well, everybody understands just one line is not effective.
Yes.
So we need certain strategy and some idea for expedite to use such our metro line. So one idea is to equip share line near the station. But problem will be existing Vietnamese familiar with using motorbike just in front of the house to the destination directly. So if we will expedite to utilize metro line, we have to consider last 1 mile mobility. So rental bike and rental car from the station to the last 1 mile is one of the important solution. Of course, we have to consider feeder bus network replanning or rerouting. Also should consider the location of the bus stop and to unify the ticketing system or something such like convenience. We have to provide for the users, passengers. That is my opinion and consideration.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, so I understood the main idea to use a metro station like some public garage for share a ride for motorbike, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, understood. And question number 2, your slide about underground tunnel for moving cars. Okay, idea is clear. No, I mean transport idea. It's no problem. Only one question: what your personal vision and what your personal idea? Who will and what model will invest for tunnels? For example, in Ho Chi Minh City or in Hanoi City, no matter. But including, of course, Vietnamese economic model and economic situation. Tunnel on the ground, it's clear, but who will pay it for it and who will invest for it? And if it's private investment, how private invest can return back his investment?
Okay. According to our experience, underground development, central Ho Chi Minh City near the Ben Thanh area. Anyway, we have to excavate from the ground to the bottom. The metro line depth is depend on the some existing condition. So, but also we have a limit to shallower the truck level. So we cannot avoid extra excavation above the truck area. So if we don't utilize above the truck area, we will just backfilling. And compared with the backfilling cost and to develop the structure, make slab, such like a construction is not so big difference, and the construction period is not so much change. So basic cost, construction for the structure itself, I mean, basic cost is not so big difference. So point is who will develop inside a facility and who will control and who will manage. Our idea is we cooperate together with peripheral area development owners, users to share such like a cost. But mainly control itself should be developed certain competent sector or controlled by governmental authority should be. But a private company also, private developer, once they would like to develop newly next to the metro line or near the station. So they can utilize underground parking space above the tunnel. So they can minimize their own parking space. They can utilize such space another purpose. So we have to consider more condition, area by area, project by project, but we can share such like a cost. I think we have a possibility and to consideration and so such like a cooperation on the project, even private project.
So in fact, you want to developer to use and construct with underground space, correct?
Only the city center area only.
But if developer, but if a developer not agree, who will pay for it?
Depend on the situation, but I think it is better to utilize underground space, especially for example, now we are constructing line 1 from Bentham, but in front of the Bentham Market to the Opera Station.
Yes, I know.
Along the railway street.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So now we just backfilling, not utilize underground space, but we have a space. We developed an underground section by cut and cover. We developed a diaphragm wall. We just developed slab above the track level, but still have a space to the ground. So we can utilize such space for passenger corridor or utility corridor in future. So once connected between Bentham to Opera, next Opera House Station, people can easily circulate, even during heavy rainy season, comfortably can move to the city. The near future, some building will be connected to such underground corridor, the passenger more flexibly to circulate in the city. That is my idea. So anyway,
so you
understood.
It's the same model like in Hong Kong. It's the same model.
Yes, like yes, Hong Kong or Singapore.
Yes, yes. In Hong Kong, in Wan Chai, yes, a lot of yes, I understood. The same model. Building connect with underground and connect with a metro. Yes, I understood. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So another question, I have here one question from student, Mr. Dang Huang Thai. There's presentation. Secondly, as I know, artificial intelligence be very popular around the world. So I have a question for you. In the future, can we use artificial intelligence in Ho Chi Minh City Metro Railway? If we use, which department can be used? And another Japan is arigato gozaimasu. Maybe the student can speak Japanese, maybe. So please, Mr. Ishihara, you answer. So the question is, the artificial intelligence will be used in which department?
So hard to say. At this moment, metro line constructed and managed by MAUR and DOT. So for future line, but not only Ho Chi Minh City Railway, also will be constructed and managed by Vietnam National Railway. So if possible, I think best way is to develop one of the independent railway operation and maintenance authority or company. But even separated Ho Chi Minh City urban railway operation sector and the national railway sector and another city railway sector, but once organized and unified the system and the regulations, but much easier to cooperate and keep compatibility easily. So important thing is to unify the system and the regulations as much as possible. So of course, need coordinator to develop much easier and earlier certain organizer or leader is required to keep such strong position and right and power. So one of the example in Japan, we have railway construction bureau sectors. So they will construct newly railway line, then hand over to railway operator. Such like a scheme also can apply to the Ho Chi Minh City. Is it okay?
Yeah. So I think it's okay. Later on, if Mr. Student Dang Hoàng Thái, if you have any question, please send it to Dr. Bing or send it directly to Mr. Ishihara for for later on question. Another question from audience, please.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Thanh, please,
Yeah.
Mr. Thanh from VT Co company, please.
Okay, thank you so much. And especially right now, I want to ask about the economic role, because with the commercial building or entertainment facilities, or even I know that in Japan, around the LTR or around the metro or Shinkansen, we have kinds of like commercial building and entertainment facility, even karaoke. So I want to mention about the role of government in building infrastructure. And with that, it belongs to the government, or it belongs to the private company.
Sorry, what is the point?
Yeah, the point that the role of the government in building infrastructure related to the underground space or related to the commercial building.
The question is who will develop?
Yep, the infrastructure. How to attract the economic role.
Okay, I understand. Yes, related to the last question, at the beginning of the Line 1 project, we considered a huge underground development in front of the Benton market area. But finally, due to the feasibility, investment effectiveness, we give up such like a huge underground development. But in future, of course, have a possibility to develop underground. The point is, same as the last question, who will pay and how to get certain return and how to make balance of the investment and the result.
Xong rồi em chuẩn bị xuống đấy nhé. Để em có thể nghe Nhật trong nó nói rồi.
So we have to consider not only railway development. City need some utility development, making keep parking space, make relocate the utilities. They must consider the flood protection So every development, infrastructure development need cost. That if one of the idea is combined and unify one space or one project for such like a separated project, we can reduce and minimize and optimize the investment cost. And we will share the cost and integration and maintenance cost shared with private company to develop around the area or utilize to use such city infrastructures. So we need more detailed consideration, but we have a chance to cooperate together with government and the private. So I believe only private, very difficult to develop underground space. But we have to consider cooperate together with government infrastructure development and private companies development.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's the reason why in the future, we hope to call for not only about the financial issues, but also about technology and appearances from Japan.
Yeah, we also have to consider how to minimize the construction period, how to minimize the total budget. But anyway, technology is improving quite earlier compared with our consideration. So we have so many chances in the future.
Okay, and thank you for that cooperation. Thank you so much.
So thank you. Your time is up. So I think another participant, if you have a question, so please also send the question directly to the speaker. And we have 3 speakers in this section and very useful information and very interesting presentation. Thank you very much for 3 speakers, 3 keynote lecture. And the time now is up, but another session we will start at today afternoon. You can participate in another session. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. We have very intensively discussion in this section. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we can now so close the session. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Bing, for organizing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Huang and the 3 keynote lecturers who had provided us a very informative and a lot of knowledge and news that we learned. And I believe there are a lot of lessons to be learned from their lectures. And that's our gratitude to your useful and very helpful presentations. And I would just quickly remind you that in the afternoon session, there will be 2 rooms that for the parallel session. And the time for the afternoon, we will start from 11 past 1. Sorry, 15 past 1. And these are, as you can see on the screen, these are 4 sessions which will run parallelly. And we have room 1 from room 1 is on the left hand side column, and room 2 is on the right hand side column. And the starting time of the afternoon session is 1:15, and we finish at around 5 p.m. And the first sessions in the afternoon will be geophysical engineering and parallelly the civil engineering material. So please have a look, and when you come back, you should see the breakout room on the Zoom. So you can enter either room 1 or room 2 as your choice to enter the session that you would like to listen to. And should you have any question or support, please feel free to drop a message on the chat function of the Zoom, and we'll be very happy to assist. And thank you very much for your active participation to the conference, and we will look forward to having you in the afternoon session. Thank you very much. And please have a break until 1 p.m. All right, see you.